There's a story in our town about an outlaw named Montana Brown. He fought and laid the women in every tavern. That was until he met the pretty girl named Saturn. He'd take her riding, and she loved everything he taught her. There was just one problem, though. This pretty maiden was the sheriff's daughter. For years, old Montana lived a life of crime, and the sheriff vowed one day old Montana would do time. Old Montana done lived a life of crime. The sheriff vowed that one day old Montana would do time. Old Montana ran from Jacksonville to Siloam, but the sheriff never expected to see him at home. The sheriff told Saturn she couldn't see Montana no more, and with that note she cried on the floor. The sheriff had old Montana chased out of town. He put his own daughter under lockdown. For years the sheriff followed Montana from here to there. No matter where he followed, he couldn't catch him anywhere. Miss Saturn was married and given to the mayor of the town, but in her heart she missed Montana Brown. After 6 years, the sheriff finally gave up his hunt, went back home to raise a puppy run. The town was quiet night and day, at night completely silent. The sheriff thought no drama would ever find him at home. Heading back was old Montana Brown. Montana was heading back to get Miss Saturn, marry her in a dress of pretty patterns. Sneaking into town in the dead of night, Montana thought he could avoid a fight. Saturn on his horse, they grabbed a hay bale. Little did they know the sheriff was already on their trail. Up the mountain they heard the bullets flying. The sheriff was on him and Saturn was crying. Face to face the sheriff got Montana at the end of his gun. Montana knew he could no longer run. The shot rang out and the night was silence. Miss Saturn jumped in the way of all the violence. They buried Miss Saturn into the ground. In the jail, Montana sat around. The keys were thrown into his cell. The sheriff told him they would both burn in hell. Montana was free and there he left in a flash. The sheriff gave him all of his cash. The people found the sheriff above the ground. A rope around his neck was found. Hung in the air with nothing but regret. He prayed in death that he would forget. As he ran, he only turned around once. And that's the story of old Montana Brown.